morning, Internet. My daughter of the YouTube channel Glitter and Groceries has tagged me in the Easter tag, so I thought I would go ahead and film that video today. I have written down all the questions, so let's get started. Do I celebrate Easter? Yes, I celebrate Easter. I've celebrated Easter forever. We always knew the true meaning growing up as children, that it was Jesus Christ's resurrection, but when I had kids, I really wanted that to be the focus of Easter. We still did Easter bunnies and Easter eggs and all those fun things, but I wanted to make sure that my kids knew the true meaning of Easter was the resurrection of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. What was my favorite thing about Easter growing up? Well, I grew up in a neighborhood where the kids could come in anybody's house. They didn't knock. They just came in. The family across the street, there were 8 kids in their family. There were kids down the street. And we just had, we played box ball in the street. So there were kids everywhere, which was always wonderful anytime we had holidays or birthdays or Christmas. But the thing that I really enjoyed was getting together at my grandparents' house with the cousins and having Easter egg hunts. And it was always torture. The parents would take their time hiding the Easter eggs, and we couldn't go near the windows. And there was this very narrow staircase, very steep, all tile staircase. I think it was like 4 stairs that we had to run out the door and run down these stairs. Well, there were no railings to these stairs. I have no idea how we all didn't end up in the emergency room, pushing and shoving, trying to find the most Easter eggs. But I would have to say that was probably my most favorite thing about Easter growing up. What are my plans for Easter this year? Well, if you watch Glitter and Groceries video, she kind of ran down what we're doing. I have to say it's very strange now that my children, Maureen is married, TJ has a girlfriend, my family dynamic is changing, and I've always kind of been, Miss Holiday, and I love the prep, I love having family over, I always do some big deal with my table setting, but now I have to get used to my kids doing, things with their other families. So that's very strange. So this year, actually, my mother-in-law has redone the inside of her house, and she happens to live an hour south of us. So, everyone lives up here. So we decided to go down to her house on Saturday to see all the changes she made and just get together. And since my son works, it's kind of difficult to get together. So I'm looking forward to that. And we actually have some family that are in from Massachusetts that we don't get to see, so that'll be nice. And then Sunday morning, I'm making breakfast or brunch. TJ's girlfriend happens to be in children's ministry at our church, so she's going to be extremely busy at church all morning. So I figured we could have our little family thing early, and then my son could go and see Audrey and her family afterwards. And we're going to go to noon service, which is later than normal, but I think it'll be fun. And I may just have to have an Easter egg hunt for Miss Maureen after learning how much she loves Easter egg hunts. So there won't be a golden egg though, darling, sorry. So that's that. Do I color Easter eggs? We actually colored Easter eggs with our kids up until they were probably 14 or 15. Their friends would come over. We would just have a big, there was Easter dye everywhere. But it was always just fun. We always really loved getting together and creating things. And I just loved having the kids here and, doing fun things that they were too old to do. Do we have any Easter traditions? I think the biggest tradition that we have is that we just like to get together as a family. Like I said, I always do the holidays, or at least I like to. So that's our biggest tradition, is that we always make time for family. We always had deviled eggs. The one thing I did enjoy doing when Maureen was little is I used to make her clothes. I used to make her the prettiest dresses, and then she got old enough to say, "Mom, I'm not wearing that." So I really enjoyed that. The kids always got up, had Easter baskets. We'd have Easter egg hunts. We'd usually have a small one at home and then get together with friends and have bigger ones. When the kids were very small and we were involved in a different church, they actually sang in an Easter pageant. It was at the fairgrounds, and that was fun. But no really set traditions like we do for Christmas. My favorite Easter treat, if you've watched my videos, that would be jelly beans. I love jelly beans. Love them, love them, love them. And something little gross is a girlfriend of mine who doesn't live here anymore, when the kids were little, we'd buy jelly beans. Of course, we just put them in our mouth, and then we'd be like, oh, like we bought spiced jelly beans. And of course we'd show each other the chewed up jelly bean in our mouth and say, what flavor is this? You know, what color? So that's just something nasty we used to do with jelly beans, but I love jelly beans. Do we hide eggs? Yes, we have hid eggs. When the kids were really small, we'd hide them in the house. When the kids got bigger, we'd hide them outside. But I've always enjoyed watching them run around and hunt Easter eggs. And it was funny when the kids were small and they really couldn't handle the Easter baskets, and their Easter basket would tip over. Usually Maureen, she'd have it like a purse, and her Easter basket would tip over and her brother would come up behind her and put all her eggs back in her basket, which, I mean, come on, that always warms your heart. Do we do pictures with the Easter bunny? I have no idea what Maureen is talking about with these bunnies with the big teeth. That's very disturbing to me that she has these terrible nightmares. The only thing I can possibly remember is that they had a picture taken, I think it was with an Easter bunny, but it could have been a Santa Claus, when they were very small at some like ghetto mall, to be perfectly honest. And it was like one of those party store Easter bunny costumes. Other than that, no, I never took that child to any scary Easter festivals. Although as she got older, we did watch Donnie Darko, and there's a really scary bunny in that movie. So Maureen, I'm sorry I traumatized you, honey. I have no idea what you're talking about. And when they were really tiny, I took them to see the Easter bunny. But spoiler alert, for anyone who are watching this with small children, you may want to pause it for a second. I told my children at a very young age that the Easter bunny and Santa Claus were not real. I just felt that as they got older and we were learning about Jesus Christ and the sacrifice he made, my kids would say to me, well, you told me the Easter bunny and Santa Claus were real. Why should I believe that Jesus Christ did all of this for us? So to me, it was more important to keep the focus on what these holidays meant than to have the fantasy of the Easter bunny and Santa Claus. I mean, they're always, I have a whole Christmas tree full of Santa Claus ornaments. I mean, I have bunnies behind me. It was important that my kids knew the real meaning. So we stopped taking pictures with the Easter bunny and Santa Claus. They were very, very young. What do I typically put in Easter baskets? Well, as I said, I always wanted the focus to be on the true meaning of Easter, so there were always some type of Christian gifts, whether it be a t-shirt, a devotional, chocolate crosses, things like that. But they always got the Easter eggs and I'd fill them up. Sometimes I'd buy cute little decorative tins and put their candy in there. I like them to be not just bags of candy. One thing I remember when I was a kid, we used to get bags of Nestle Toll House morsels. And to be honest, I really enjoyed that. I love Nestle's Toll House morsels. But that was like our Easter candy. So that's what I typically put in Easter baskets. I always make sure there's some type of religious aspect because it's like Super Bowl Sunday for Christians, Easter. Come on, for real. So that is basically, I mean, movies, I'm trying to think what I put in Easter. But this year, of course, is going to be different because my kids are all part of a couple. And yes, I still make them Easter baskets. Maureen would be very upset if I did not make her an Easter basket. But this year, of course, they're going to be for David and Maureen and TJ and Audrey. So I'm doing something a little different this year. I'll probably do a video of it. But of course, like Maureen said, Maureen will definitely watch this video and she will know what I'm doing. So no. So that's basically what we do for Easter. As you can see behind me, I like to decorate. When the kids were smaller, I would go over the top. My husband and I made plywood Easter egg cutouts. We put them in the yard. We had the window clings. There was always a craft happening when the kids were little. They had made these Easter baskets out of milk jugs, and TJ had glued blue cotton balls on his, and Maureen had glued pink cotton balls on hers, and we made them look like bunnies with ears and googly eyes. We used to do marble painting in the shape of Easter eggs, and we'd hang these creations all over the house. I bought Resurrection Easter eggs. I should have grabbed them out of my Easter stuff. And inside, they're the eggs that you open, and in each egg, there's some significance to the Easter story. So those were the types of things that we really did for Easter. I really, really love the holidays. Sometimes that's the only time we get to see family is during the holidays. And it's always been important to me to give the children the traditions. Like Maureen says, she loves her traditions. Well, I want her to always come back to that because that's very heartwarming when you think, well, this is how my mom always did it, or this is what my grandmother did. I think it's very important. It bonds you as a family when you have those kinds of traditions. I'm going to cry. But yeah, I mean, my kids still like to come home for the holidays, and that's important to me now that they're adults. So I hope you enjoyed this Easter tag. I don't really have that many people to tag. I'll tag Miss Stonehome. I like watching her videos. Lighten Up, I'll tag you as well. And like Maureen said, if you just want to answer the questions down in the comments, that would be great. I love to hear about what other people are doing for Easter. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you do for Easter, and if you haven't subscribed, please do. And I will see you in the next video. Bye! Happy Easter!